Good Wednesday, everyone, and thanks for joining me post-primary election 2022. A great deal of ground to cover tonight. Of course, that will center largely, but not entirely, around election results. First, I want to extend a sincere thank you and congratulations. First of all, thank you to all the candidates who chose to, over the course of the past several weeks and months even, use Your News Today and this program, as well as the Sagersville Independent, to try to help perpetuate their campaigns and share their platforms. Again, thank you so much for your patronage and for, as well, recognizing the hard work that my staff does to make this show and this newspaper, of course, highly watched and highly read. Again, thank you all. And congratulations to not just everyone who was victorious in their seeking their respective parties' nomination for some, the position they sought, but I have long said I think it should be somewhere in the Constitution or otherwise that everyone at some point in their life should have to run for office at least once to have a really solid understanding of not just the system and everything else, of how it actually works, and have a really good respect for the voting process and the election process at large, but also for their community. It is an educational experience, if nothing else, and it's also a big endeavor, regardless of the size of your district or race that you are in. So again, congratulations to everyone who ran, and of course those who are going on to November. So we will begin with that in just a few seconds. I'll also take a quick look, as I've got hours of footage from last night's welcome home for idle Noah Thompson, and we'll have to wrap it up with a serious and quick look at your weather forecast. Pretty active and loud pattern rolling through for the rest of this evening, or at least for a part of it. So that'll pretty much wrap up the show right after this.
It is never too early for spring to spring at the seasonal shop, and it has. With new ladies' fashions in and arriving daily from all the fashion houses you've come to love, like Royce, Mud Pie, Charlie Page, Simply Southern, they have a new line of spring tees from Ivory Ella, and amazing scents in soaps, body lotions, and home fragrance diffusers by Michael Design Works, with something for every room in the house. Plus new home decor, and as always, so much more at the seasonal shop in downtown Sagersville.
I don't have a percentage of voter turnout for Magoffin County yet. We'll get to that, certainly. It didn't print in their initial report when I checked today, but I can tell you that there were 4,066 votes cast by voters altogether. 4,066 voters represented in yesterday's Magoffin County primary. 1,682 Republican, 2,384 Democrat. Now, that in itself, I think, is significant. Magoffin County, unlike Johnson and Martin and some others, is a largely Democratic county, has been historically, and we saw a significantly higher, I believe, number of Republicans voting. I believe there was a lot of folks who switched parties and have over the course of undetermined amount of time, but we'll take a closer look at that. But I thought that was very interesting. Definitely well more than half, and perhaps closer to 60% or so of the vote was a Republican vote yesterday in Magoffin County in the primary. For example, when you look at a couple of races, the Republican sheriff's race had 1,663 votes cast, 2,307 for the Democratic sheriff's race here in Magoffin County. So we'll look at that a little later on. Voter turnout in Johnson County I do have when we get to all of their totals in just a few seconds. But right now, a quick look back at Magoffin County's results and who will be going on to November, who will just be awaiting to be named after several individuals ran, not necessarily unopposed in this race, but with no opposition in the fall after winning last night. We'll begin with that for United States Senator here in Kentucky. Here in McGoffin County specifically, Senator Rand Paul easily carried McGoffin County 1,286. The next closest challengers were in their 50s or under. That was a similar trend as he actually carried 86% of the Republican vote yesterday in Kentucky, 332,000 cast. The next closest challenger was Valerie Frederick, statewide only getting 4% of the vote. Paul will go on to officially face former lawmaker, Democrat Charles Booker. He got 73% of the Democratic vote, about 214 or 19,000, I think. Statewide, that is. His next closest challenger was Joshua Blanton with about 11% of the vote. Harold Hal Rogers had no problem getting the Republican nomination for his seat, which he's held since 1981 here in McGoffin County. 1,400 votes. The next closest challenger had 77. Congressman Rogers received 83% of the Republican vote yesterday. The next closest challenger was Gerardo Serrano with about 6%. Hal Rogers will officially face Connor Habib, who was unopposed as a Democrat in yesterday's primary. Next, on McGoffin County's ballot, we get to local races, and we'll begin with that of Republican Sheriff. There you see William Bill Meade upsetting incumbent McGoffin County Sheriff Carson Montgomery significantly, 683 votes, just shy of 200 more than the incumbent sheriff, who had 497 votes cast for him yesterday. Third on the list, but also getting reasonably close to Montgomery, was Neil Adams at 325 votes. Again, 1,663 Republican votes cast in McGoffin County yesterday. Bill Meade will receives the Republican nomination and will go on to face the Democratic challenger, which we'll get to in just a few moments. For Magistrate District 1, the bottom of your ballot on screen, Darrell Ray Howard, the incumbent, and Jordan Jordo Howard, the latter of which received 180 votes. Darrell Ray Howard will receive the Republican nomination and go on to November. He will face a challenger there, Andrew Reisner, who won the Democratic nomination here in McGoffin County. We'll get to his totals in a few moments, as for the rest of the Democrats as well. But first, for Constable District 1 in the Republican ballot, current Constable James E. Rudd received the nomination, 350 votes in his district to 154 for Bobby W. Bailey. Rudd will go on to take on Louis Patrick. He was a Democrat and unopposed in the primary yesterday, so didn't show up on the ballot, but he will be there as a Democrat challenger to Rudd in November. District 2 Magistrate on the Republican ballot goes to Eddie Jenkins, who was a challenger 4 years ago for Buckle-Master in the general election. He receives the Republican nomination this year with 300 votes to Basil Scott Conley's 157 and 136 for Darrell Russell. And again, this year, will go on to face Buckle-Master in the general election. Magistrate District 3, the Republican nomination going to former Magistrate Ronnie Lovely with 247 votes. Next was Tim Conley with 132 and J.R. Ratliff with 83. Ronnie Lovely will go on to face Sam Bailey Jr. in November, who outseated, if you will, current Magistrate for District 3, Joe Bailey. Now for the Democratic ballot here in McGoffin County yesterday, Joshua Wesley Blanton Sr. carrying McGoffin County, 831. Charles Booker was next at 764, as I've already covered. However, Booker won the state's nomination. Will go on to face Rand Paul in the fall. For Democrat State Senator here in Magoffin County native Terry Victor Salyer receiving 1,091 votes. Sid Allen, challenger on the Democratic ballot from Canton, receiving 757. As for their entire district of 9 counties, Sid Allen would actually get the party's nomination with about 57% of the vote last night, 7,134 to Salyers' 5,454. That means Sid Allen will go on to challenge current U.S. State Senator Brandon Smith, who was unopposed on the Republican ballot. For Magoffin County Judge Executive on the Democratic ballot, incumbent Matthew Chalmer Wireman, 1,815 votes, a little more than 1,300 votes over his only challenger, Rick Howard with 457. There, of course, will be a race for judge in the fall with Carter Whitaker unopposed on the Republican ballot. While Magoffin County's race for county attorney was settled last night, 2 Democrats and only 2 Democrats running, and with, of course, current and longtime serving County Attorney Greg Allen retiring, his assistant won by 1,511 votes to 805. Travis Joseph, your new Magoffin County attorney, after that win last night over local attorney Jeff Lovely with 805. Another race decided last night was that for county court clerk, with no Republicans on the ballot. This was a rematch between Big Tony Allen and Renee Arnott Shepard, and to the tune of about 332 votes, Shepard will keep and retain her position as Magoffin County's court clerk, 1,330 votes to 998 for Big Tony Allen. And as we referred to earlier, there will be a race for sheriff in the fall. David Neal Howard, who was a strong challenger 4 years ago in the general election to Carson Montgomery, won the Democratic nomination this year with 986 votes. The next to him was Tim Watkins with 547 for Randall Bob Jordan, 147 for Ray McCarty, and 27 for Dakota Murphy. So again, William Bill Meade in the Republican ballot and David Neal Howard on the Democratic in November. Next, Magoffin County voters decisively chose their jailer for another 4 years. No Republican candidates, meaning jailer Brian Montgomery with 1,580 votes will remain so over Robert James Bailey's 716. On the Democratic race for magistrate in District 1, Andrew Joseph Reisner came out on top, 323 votes to Roy Dean Allen's 264 and Joshua Kenneth Poe's 168. Again, that means that Reisner will go on to face current Magoffin County Magistrate Darrell Ray Howard in November. For Democrat Magistrate District 2, the incumbent Pernell Buckla Master securing his party's nomination with 380 votes last night to that of 256 for Carson Sloan and 75 for Jarrett Howard. Again, LeMaster facing, again, Eddie Jenkins on the Republican ballot later in the year. Next, Constable District 2, Democrats Michael Blake Cantrell securing the party's nomination with 253 votes. Next was Cash Edward Jordan with 143, and Ken Literal with 131, and Jeffrey Scott Perkins with 92. That means that Cantrell will go on to face current Magoffin County Constable Wade Collinsworth, who was unopposed in yesterday's race. And for Magistrate District 3 on the Democratic ballot, Sam Bailey Jr., 352, a narrow win thus far, unofficial, over Joe Bailey, current magistrate of District 3, 9 votes shy with 343 votes. Last was Charlie Brown with 94. No word yet on a request for a recanvass between this race, with 9 votes certainly possible and understandable. We'll keep you up to date. Last was that of Democrat Constable District 3. Richard Rex Love, 403 votes, will secure that position. With no one on the Republican ballot for Constable in District 3, he defeated Dalton Bradley, who had 146, and Steve Reisner, who had 163. In neighboring Johnson County, voters there as well largely went with Republican Rand Paul for U.S. Senator, 3,428 votes cast. The next closest competitor was Paul Hamilton with 131. The U.S. Representatives race as well, going largely for Hal Rogers, 3,575 voters in Johnson County. The next four was 168 for Jeanette Andrews. Bobby McCool will take his third term as state representative in the 97th District after in Johnson County getting 3,388 votes to 603 for Norma Kirk McCormick. 603 altogether. McCool had 4,274 to McCormick's 2,778. And with no Democratic challenger, McCool will take his third term. PVA in Johnson County. The majority of Johnson County races decided last night on the Republican ballot, as not many have Democratic challenge. Had them last night or will have them in the fall. Of course, Johnson County just as largely Republican as McGoffin County is Democrat, by and large. PBA, Michael Dip Stafford, 2,832 to James David Castle's 1,176. County Judge Executive, getting his second term in office after voters showed their support for him last night, was Mark McKenzie, 2,718 votes to 1,378 for Lyndon Butcher. County Attorney also decided in Johnson County last night. Michael Endicott getting another term as county attorney after 2,147 votes were cast for he. Brandon May, 1,981. The Republican sheriff's race. No Democratic challenger at all in Johnson County, but I can't call this one decided. Current Johnson County Sheriff Doug Saylor, in the downhill side, or on the downhill side of his first term, received 1,749 votes in Johnson County last night. Scott Hazlett, retired Kentucky State Police Trooper and former Johnson County Sheriff's Deputy, received 2 more than the incumbent at 1,751. I checked with Sally Connolly earlier today in the Johnson County Clerk's office. A recanvass had not been requested as of yet, but we can only feel rest assured that one will be, with only 2 votes separating the winner. 1,751 again for Hazlett and 1,749 for Sheriff Doug Saylor. The jailer on the Republican ballot last night, Steve Rose, 2,686 to Dwayne Price's, former Johnson County Sheriff, 1,396, a more than approximate 1,300 vote win for Steve Rose. He is now going to be the next Johnson County jailer, as there was no one on the Democratic ballot. County Commissioner, District 1, Republican. There were a number of challengers. I see 11. The winner last night, Jessica Blevins Click, with 290 for commissioner in the 1st District. She will now be the commissioner, as there were no Democratic candidates. Constable in District 1. An unofficial winner, we'll say, no Democrats. Republican Tim Branham had 650 votes last night. James Red Eye Castle, 647, just 3 less. No recanvass had been requested as of my checking in again with the clerk's office, but we also feel pretty convincingly assured that there will be one in that race for constable. For county commissioner in the 2nd District, Mikey Gerald, 479. The closest challenger was Nancy McKenzie Cantrell. No Democrats. That means Gerald will be the commissioner for District 2. Constable District 2, a Republican race. Ronnie Butcher getting 653 votes, 501 for Karate Bob Hyden. Butcher will go on to face Bruce Ritz on the Democratic ballot, who was unopposed. That, of course, in November. County Commissioner in the 3rd District, no Democrat candidate this year. Barber Tim Salyer, 816 votes. The closest was Brian Childers with 361. Constable District 3 in Johnson County. Jimmy Castle, the Democrat, the only Democrat, so of course he automatically goes on to get the party's nomination and go to November. Last night getting 792 votes for Constable District 3 in Johnson County. John Mike Stapleton over Billy Dean Howard with 265 and Gary Ratliff with 194. Unopposed, and going on and retaining her seat as Johnson County Court Clerk, Sally Connolly Holbrook, as well as J.R. Frisbee for the coroner, and Clarence Scarberry also had no opposition for Johnson County Surveyor. Johnson County, by the way, had a total voter turnout last night of 26.73%. Again, I don't have McGoffin counties, but just based on the remarks you may have heard me make last night on the precincts that I checked in with, we had 4 years ago in the primary about a 54.5% or so voter turnout, and every precinct I talked to appeared to have right at half what they had 4 years ago. Extremely low turnout here in Eastern Kentucky, and I don't have the statewide total, so we'll look into that too. Right now, a brief commercial message and your community calendar next.
Parkway Pharmacy, as always, promises the quickest service with the very best care and prices, and to always have someone there to talk to when you have a question. With 3 pharmacists, curbside, drive-through, and call-ahead service. Parkway Pharmacy in Sayersville, 349-4400.
Where you can always talk to a pharmacist when you need one.
Check out the latest in savings on new sets of tires and vehicle maintenance at Conley's, like $150 back on Goodyears, $120 back on Bridgestones, and big deals on Firestone, Hankook, General, and more. All with perfect snap-on balancing, and where they only charge $35 for state-of-the-art computer diagnostics to fix exactly what you need and get you back on the road. On the web at conleytire.net or stop by in Staffordsville.
A special birthday to kick off the community calendar tonight. Very special, in-house. Right now, though, real quickly, one announcement before I go on to the others. The Montgomery County Senior Citizen Center is giving out commodities tomorrow from 11 in the morning till 2:30. Please bring a box. Make sure your paperwork is up to date. And if you can go spend some time to volunteer, they would love to have you and need you desperately. Tomorrow morning, 11 at the Senior Citizen Center. Here's that birthday.
We will simply call it a milestone and leave it at that. The biggest and best and most sincere birthday wishes with a lot of love to dear old Dad tonight. Yep, Douglas celebrating his birthday today. Happy birthday, if you'll join me, to him. When you see him tonight or tomorrow, wish him the best and leave it at that. Happy birthday, Dad. Happy birthday and lots of love. Going on to our calendar, a reminder, tomorrow is the Farmer Appreciation Dinner here in Montgomery County at the high school, 6 o'clock. They're going to have a free dinner. They're going to have health screenings. They're going to have door prizes. They want to say thank you to our farmers, and they have a great way of doing it tomorrow starting at 6 o'clock at the Montgomery County High School. They say, please join them, farmers and families, for food, fun, and fellowship. Brought to you by the University of Kentucky College of Agriculture, Food, and Environment Department, your local cooperative extension service. A quick reminder, they couldn't have it today. I mentioned that before because of just a lot of logistical issues, the scheduling, the fuel cost, the food supply. But their senior pantry day will be open tomorrow at the Water into Wine Food Pantry, 12:30 till 2 at the Lakefront Church of God. They hope, seniors, that you will stop by. Again, 12:30 till 2 for Senior Pantry Day. For those who are seniors or otherwise, graduated or not, it doesn't matter. Students at the Sagersville High School, the class of 72, your 50th year reunion. Coming up Saturday the 28th at the Montgomery County Health Department. Call any of your classmates at those numbers at the bottom of your screen. If you have any questions, they hope to see you there. I hope to see your announcement here. Birthdays and anniversaries, too. Remember, we also publish birthdays and birth announcements and anniversaries for free in the Independent. But don't send those to me. Send those to Heather at SagersvilleIndependent.com. From there, funeral service announcements. Very seldom do we have a day that we don't have any, especially here as of late. Brought to you nightly, nevertheless, by the Montgomery County Funeral Home, Paul Burchell and his family. And services have been set since I saw you last for 65-year-old B.F. Helton. He passed away Monday, survived by his wife Linda, his son Adam, his daughter Jill Frisbee, his brother Forrest Helton, sister Eileen Lemaster, and 2 granddaughters, in addition to his parents, Garland Dutch and Marceline Helton. B.F. is preceded in death by his brother William, sisters Darlene Helton and Julia Helton, and nephew James Blake Helton. The services in his honor are going to start tomorrow at 1 from the First Community Baptist Church. Friends can visit the church this evening and prior to tomorrow's services for visitation. And the family says that in lieu of flowers, please make contributions in honor of B.F. at the First Community Baptist Church. 90-year-old Nadine Preston of Mash Fork passed away Monday. The daughter of the late Brack and Dora Wisecup Hamilton. Her husband, William Roger Preston, preceded her in death as well. She's survived by her daughters, Linda Salyer, Pamela Green, and sister Retta Sue Hamilton, and a number of grandchildren and 9 great-grandchildren. Services will take place beginning Friday morning at 11 at the Sayersville Funeral Home Visitation tomorrow evening after 6. And arrangements incomplete at this hour for Robin Taylor Faith Bailey, infant daughter of Jacob and Natasha Bailey of Sayersville, who passed away yesterday. Services to be announced through the Sayersville Funeral Home. And also services incomplete at this hour, but to be announced through the Montgomery County Funeral Home for 79-year-old Roy Helton of Campton, formerly of Sayersville.
I'm Kelly Collins from Golden Law Office. I began my legal career in Lexington, representing some of the nation's largest insurance companies. This experience provided me with the inside knowledge as to how the insurance company will prepare to defend your case. I'm now taking that knowledge and returning to my hometown in Eastern Kentucky to help those hurt through no fault of their own. If you or a family member have been injured in an auto or truck accident, call Golden Law Office today.
Car wrecks,
truck wreck,
disability,
workers' comp,
slip and fall.
wrongful death.
Your case matters to you.
Your case matters to us. Contact McFarland Tinker Law Office. With our combined experience of over 58 years, we're here ready to work for you.
Not everything has changed over the years. Fraser's Prater Drug Store is still your most trusted pharmacy, where you can get your prescription brought to you curbside or make your way to the counter for a snack, lunch, or an incredibly sweet treat. And check out Strings and Things inside the shack, the Radio Shack, musical instruments, guns, ammo, electronics, and more. It's as wonderfully unique of a shopping experience as is the selection at Fraser's Prater Drug Store in downtown Salyersville.
I've got hours of footage from Angie and Andrew, who made the trip last night to Louisa for Noah Thompson's homecoming. I've looked at a little of it. I'll share a little bit with you, and I can tell you that the media, by and large, unless you just got lucky, didn't have a chance to sit down with Noah, but I think you're going to see him here on the show, perhaps maybe sooner than later. Not tonight. Not saying that at all. But this was the scene in a mere 87 days from his first audition when we saw it air on American Idol to his coming home as a top 3 finalist.
87 days. 87 days. Can you imagine your life being turned around to that degree, that overwhelming in 87 days? Well, I can tell you, little Louisa did him proud. Not so little anymore. Lawrence County and the world welcomed home their idol last night with a free concert, a parade. I mean, you've got right next to the US 23 Country Music Highway sign, a temporary sign with his name on it, you know, alongside Keith Whitley's name, Don Rigsby, Tyler Childers, Ricky Skaggs, Larry Cordell. Oh my gosh. I mean, just the accolades, unreal, absolutely unreal. And then, of course, got the Country Music Highway names, including Crystal Gale, Chris Stapleton, Loretta Lynn, Tom T. Hall, Billy Ray Cyrus, Dwight Yoakam, Patty Levis, the Judds. They're all there, and he's going to be too after they're formally brought into the Kentucky transportation system, but temporary markers are there now. Lawrence County Judge Executive Philip Carter, prior to yesterday, had already read a proclamation declaring the month of April Noah Thompson Month. That was before he made the top 3. He visited the Lawrence County High School yesterday. There was the concert at the football stadium. The crowd, understandably, overwhelming. Cameron Marlowe, performed with him. Sunday best Nick Jamerson, he was there too.
And I also just like to say, it's been so wonderful watching you every week. Lawrence County could not have picked a better representative than you to represent them. Your humbleness, your politeness, the way you carry yourself every week is just a true blessing to Lawrence County. Now we're here celebrating everything you've done. We'd also like to thank you for just being Noah Thompson. We know you won't need it, but we also want you to know you will always be Lawrence County's American Idol. Thank you, Noah, and God bless you. Look at this, Noah Thompson Lane.
Man, I love you too, man. I ain't got no words. You guys have blown me away, and I'm so grateful for everybody in this crowd. I love you guys. Thank you so much.
This is Cameron Marlowe. And that's Noah Thompson, y'all. Come on.
He and Marlowe, of course, performed the song that started it all, Giving You Up, that first audition. He sang his new release, One Day Tonight. I think a couple of times, maybe. You know, got to get that video right. And his homecoming, it was idol-worthy, and we'll leave it at that. Now let me just say this again. I think we'll get a little FaceTime with Noah here, maybe sooner than later. Meanwhile, they finished wrapping up this morning and whisked him back off to American Idol in the set where on Sunday, get this, he's doing a duet with Melissa Etheridge, performing his debut single and hit, One Day Tonight. I think he's also covering a Springsteen album, or hit, rather. Yeah, Springsteen. It's going to last 3 hours. It's going to be Sunday, and after that, well, who knows? We'll wait and see. Congratulations. Best of luck to Noah Thompson.
She wants a wedding in September, saved up all winter, spent her summers in a fixer-upper in Denver. She wants a girl and a boy and a whole dog named Roy. Lord, I hope this old boy can give her that life. So go home, girl. We'll pour a glass of wine and dream aloud, talk about one day tonight.
Now a quick and serious look at your weather. This program was taped just a bit early to the tune of maybe an hour or a little less in an effort to try to have a happy birthday for dear old Dad this evening. So keep in mind when you take a look at the local Doppler radar and the imminent weather changes.
Not much break in the action over the course of the rest of this week and next for that part. This is actually from about 4 to 5:30, the time loop you were looking at here before I left just a bit early this evening. That was the showers and storms approaching the red pin there. That's us here in the Sagersville area, giving you a pretty good idea of what's knocking on the door here very, very soon. Rain, lightning, and some wind associated with this right now. Not much of a tornado threat. And nothing spiraling there, do I see, but you'll want to watch it closely for the rest of the evening. And then we'll talk about the next rounds. Mostly cloudy and a 70% chance of showers tonight. Half to 3/4 of an inch of rain from this is certainly a good possibility. Tomorrow we'll hit the 80s under partly sunny skies. Look for a 50% chance of some lingering showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. Maybe another half an inch as well on the high end. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, a low of 59. Things will start to calm down finally and then heat up for your Friday. There's that 90 we've been talking about. Yep, it's going to be hot and sunny for the last work day. I hope for everyone. I know not all, but nevertheless sunny. A little breezy too. Southwesterly winds anywhere from 3 to 20 miles per hour, but definitely we think we'll hit 90, maybe 91, 2 degrees is in the realm of possibility. So like I said, sunny, hot with a little bit of wind on your Friday. Then we've got a cold front coming that will start to give us our next chance of some showers and storms. As for Saturday, not early on your Saturday, sunny and 88 degrees. I think shower and storm chances will crank up when this cold front rolls through as Saturday is winding down later that evening and during the overnight. And that will leave us with a little more activity, I think, into your Sunday. And there you see temperatures taking a hit. Upper 80s to low 70s Sunday. Partly sunny, 50% chance of those showers and storms. Monday, low 70s again, mostly sunny and clear. And then guess what? Another round of action. Yeah, I said active, didn't I? Tuesday and Wednesday will go up to the upper 70s and some sunshine. But with that, at least a slight chance of some showers and storms will make their way back into the picture. Keep your eye on the weather tonight. Now, even.
And that's it for tonight, but I have got 2 more days to work in a whole lot of news and new commercials and a lot of other things before we wrap it up for the week. And then, of course, we'll start the next election campaign soon thereafter. Not next week, but sometime thereafter. For now, enjoy the rest of your evening. Please keep a close eye on those storms, and I'll see you back here tomorrow night.